MCO.
Speaker, thank you. I'll take a short call on this third reading. The member who just sat down has argued that for the sake of economic growth, that the destruction of the environment is therefore justified. And she claims that there have been houses been built and that for the sake of creating jobs, that it is okay to put our risk at an environment. And yet, we are short. There's a shortage of house throughout New Zealand. There's now 53,000 people still unemployed, all under this government's watch. So I'm not sure, sir, whether that member understands what this bill puts at risk. No, it's not patronising, Ms. Collins. That's the claim by that particular member, and I'm saying that she is wrong. She is totally wrong. This legislation, as my colleague Marianne Street has said, the changes to this bill, passed and planned legislative change by this government, is part of the package by this government, sir, that does four things, in my view. It puts at risk New Zealand's environment. It destroys the ability of local communities to participate in local democracy. It undermines local government's ability to function properly and to deliver their constituents. And it undermines, sir, the fact that local governments have a critical role to play in local development. And so their argument that we should be destroying local government, removing local democracy, all for the sake of economic growth, let's ask them for the proof. Let's ask them for the proof. They've had 5 years in government, and all we get for the rest of New Zealand is 153,000 unemployed, low income, and people who don't have a house to get into, and it's becoming harder and harder to get into a home. So that's the legacy of this particular government, and if they go ahead with this, the changes now and further changes, it continues to undermine the ability of New Zealanders and ratepayers to participate in local decision-making, sir. And I say to you, Mr. Speaker, that's not gone unnoticed by local government. That's not gone unnoticed by councillors and mayors throughout this country. They would have noted, or maybe not, because most local government people sat through the local government conference recently and didn't say a word, but they were murmuring behind when the Prime Minister spoke. They were grumbling behind when the Minister of Local Government spoke, because they've had enough of this. They've had enough of the bullying tactics by this government. They've had enough of the local government ministers from this government going about prancing along and telling local people that they know best, they know better, and therefore they can go. Mr. Speaker, it's just unbelievable that this government believes that they are doing something good for New Zealand. By the time they leave office, they would have left this country in a mess. Shame on them.
I call Maggie Berry.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It is quite difficult to keep awake, actually, after a tedious dissertation like that one. That member has not to